Joder, ya empezamos con la misa. Tarda en arreglarte esto misa. Bueno, vamos a hablar con los hermanos.
Talk to me, brother. I'm interested in the other novices. What can you tell me about Siskin?
Oh, he's always got a smile on the new friend. But I reckon he don't belong in the monastery. He spends more time dreaming of the world outside than tending to his duties. I'm surprised he hasn't been thrown out already. If it was up to me, he'd be out on his ear right away.
I'm interested in Lucas.
Nobody knows much about Lucas. He keeps himself to himself. If you ask me, he's got something to hide. I'd keep well clear of him if I was you.
Do you have any grounds for suspecting him of something?
Quite a lot. And also none at all. The circuitous who make the rounds despise him, and they never punish anyone without cause.
Listen, there's something I ought to tell you. There's a dangerous criminal hiding in the monastery, and I came here to look for him.
Ha! I knew it! He's a villain. Who are you, though? Oh, it's better not to ask, isn't it? It's always safer not to ask.
Never mind that. Who's a villain?
That's Siskin. I always thought he was an odd one, the way he carries on. But now it makes perfect sense. He's a criminal fleeing justice.
You mean he's not going to morning prayers?
So you noticed that too?
Actually, you could be right.
I think when you take a closer look at Siskin, you'll find he's the one you're looking for.
You've got the wrong end of the stick. That has nothing to do with anything.
You think so? He definitely acts like a criminal. Who else would it be?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
What are you going to do to that fellow once you find him?
I don't know yet.
You should talk to the circuitous or the prior about it. Not act on your own.
The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those who will nothing but Christ, who, because of the holy service they have professed, and the fear of hell and the glory of life everlasting, as soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command, and cannot suffer any delay in execution. But this
Praise be to Christ, brother.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
Look, nothing against you, but I prefer not to talk about my past.
Are you hiding something? Why are you so reluctant to tell me anything about yourself?
I'm hiding a lousy past that I'd rather forget. I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here. And also because I really hate the question, aren't you the son of the famed Sir Smil Flashka Pardubit? I was rich and I had everything. But then my father began to feel his time approaching, so he decided to send a son to the monastery. And, being the youngest, a lot fell on me. I've no head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it. Can you imagine? Me, in a monastery. So I took what coin I could from home with me, so I didn't lose out completely.
But you didn't have to come here if you didn't want to.
No, not if I didn't mind being left to beg alms by the city gate. I had one choice, the monastery or nothing. If it had come to that after my father's death, so be it. But to get rid of me while he's still alive...
Since he has the authority, let him cut out
They must have realized you robbed them.
as soon as they begin.
I donated some of the silver to the monastery when I came in, just to piss them off. I can just see my my siblings, arguing with the abbot to give it back.
And you stashed away the remainder.
Indeed so.
Hard, proud, and disobedient character.
What's your plan with this treasure?
To get out of here as soon as I can. I'll wait another year or two until my hot-headed brothers cool off a bit, and then I'll take the silver and run off somewhere, far, far away from here.
That's all I wanted to know.
Please, keep it to yourself, especially the part about the coin.
The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer than Christ, who, because of the
I'd be interested to hear what you think about the other novices.
hell and the glory of life everlasting,
I'm interested in Yodok.
What could interest you about him? He's a no-good rat. He'll turn you in for the price of a turnip. I'd bet my life that if he wasn't here, he'd be a human scap, bowing and scraping for a few groschen.
That doesn't sound too flattering.
It wasn't meant to. No matter what you do here, watch out for him. He's got his eye on everyone, and he'll rat on you for even the slightest of infractions.
What can you tell me about Lucas?
It's a tricky situation with Lucas. No one really knows anything about him. I've tried so many times to talk to him, but he always backs away like a virgin on a wedding night.
That's all. Thanks. There's something I should tell you. Something you won't be happy to hear. I'm here to find someone and, well, to do away with him. But listen, it's not murder. Not when it's a man like him. He's one of the brigands who burned down Neuhof. He doesn't deserve to live.
What's he doing here? And who are you?
They call him pious because he used to be a priest. When he found out a lot of people were after him, he hid away here. And as you can see, escaped suspicion. They sent me here to find him and bring him to justice. He's one of the novices.
So we have one outlaw and one assassin in our midst. This place is a lot more exciting than I expected. Do you know who it is?
Well, that's just it.
For if the disciple obeys with ill will and murder, not necessarily with his lips, but simply in his heart, then even though he fulfills the command,
No, but I hope I'll track him down soon. If you find any clue that could lead me to him,
I swear I don't know anything. Except that I'm not the one you're looking for.
he will incur the punishment due to murderers unless he amends everything.
I won't tell you more. And I'd like you to keep silent about this too.
You're talking about killing in the monastery. I really should report it.
Would you do that? I have a feeling you wouldn't.
You're right. I'll keep it to myself. I've got problems enough of my own without involving myself in yours. And besides, I mean to be gone from here within a year, so why should I care what happens with the monastery?
Thank you, Siskin. I appreciate it.
From the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply themselves to reading. After the 6th hour, having left the table, let them rest on their beds in perfect silence, or if anyone may perhaps want to read to himself in such a way as not to disturb anyone else.
What troubles you?
None be said rather early, at the middle of the 8th hour.
I'd be interested to hear what you think about the other novices. What can you tell me about Siskin?
That there's no man alive less suitable for the monastic life than him.
You don't know young Lord Capon.
I've heard things. Siskin must have been like him, fighting, drinking, fornicating. But then he ended up in here.
Why is he in the monastery?
No one knows. Maybe he's hiding from something. Or maybe he's being punished.
Do you think he has a secret?
Don't we all? But unlike the others, he absolutely refuses to speak about his life before the monastery.
That's all I wanted to know about him. Thanks. What about Yodok?
be on good terms with him. If you show even the slightest hint you don't like him, he'll make your life hell. He's a slimy little pedant who'll rat you out to the superiors. Once he finishes his novitiate, I imagine he'll want to climb his way up the ladder to at least Sir Cater. He's a man who enjoys ordering others around.
I'm interested in Lucas.
No one knows much about him. He doesn't talk to anyone. He works, eats, sleeps, then does it all again the next day. It's as if he wanted to get it all over with as soon as possible. By it, I mean his entire life.
That's all, thanks.
These we condemn everywhere with a perpetual ban. And for such conversation, we do not commit silence. The rule of Saint Benedict. The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those who hold nothing nearer than Christ, who, because of the holy service they have professed, and the fear of hell, and the glory of life everlasting, as soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command, and cannot suffer any delay. But this very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation. Delay, lukewarmness, grumbling.
Joder, tío.
For the obedience given to superiors is given to God. For if the disciple obeys with an ill will and murmurs, not necessarily with his lips, but simply in his heart, then even though he fulfills the command, yet his word will not be acceptable to God.
Bueno, mientras se están comiendo yo cierro la puerta. Que necesito. A cerrar la puerta. Que voy, que voy.
You have some interesting skills for a monk. Don't suppose you want to tell me how you picked them up?
What's there to tell? We were all young and foolish once. I was a student in Prague, completely broke, living from hand to mouth and studying all day. It wasn't an easy life.
So you turned to stealing?
I set about securing a livelihood as best I could. A goose, some new shoes, a bit of coin to spend with my friends. Without that little bit extra, I'd never have completed my studies. I would have turned into a beggar. And who else do you know that can say he's serving God thanks to having been a thief?
No one, brother. Thank you for telling me your story.
Brother? You were somewhere you shouldn't have been. Don't you know your place? Don't you know where you're permitted to enter and where your presence is forbidden?
I've had enough of this. You'll never put me in seclusion.
You dare resist punishment? Let me remind you, brother, you will suffer the consequences of your deeds.
I apologize. I shall serve my time in solitary confinement.
Now, show me what you have on you. I must confiscate anything that is not allowed in the monastery.
Joder, qué cabrón. Me va a hacer de pasar aquí Gras de Caín.
While I was locked up, someone was making quite a racket in the cellar. Blind drunk, I'm sure of it. I wonder what's been going on.
A ver, espérate un poquito.
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. I saw you at the ceremony. My name is Nebulus, and I'm the provost here. I'm in charge of the monastery's property, as well as handling trade with the outside world.
That means you get to leave the monastery?
No, not at all. I just write lists and send them out.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm the provost of this monastery. It's my job to ensure the monks live a humble life and that any surpluses go to the poor. But in reality, I spend all my time making sure my brother's gluttony and the construction of a new church don't swallow up the few resources we have left.
I'm interested in the election of the new abbot.
You're not alone. Everyone's so worked up about that they spent no time considering how they could make the monastery a better place now.
Why? What's wrong with it now?
Many brothers think more about their stomachs than prayer. The older brethren bend the rules of the order to make them fit their interests. So, to balance the scales, they want the novices to lead exemplary lives. Sin abounds here, just as in the outside world.
What sins are you talking about?
The scripture says, "Let he who is without sin cast the first stone." I'm sorry, Gregor, it's not my place to speak about the sins of others.
Tell me something about how the new abbot will be elected.
A new abbot has to be elected once the old one dies. All the brethren can vote, with the exception of novices. The abbot's crozier will be conferred on whoever is chosen, and he'll take the vow. When he becomes abbot, a monk spends most of his time dealing with politics outside the monastery, instead of actually leading the monastery. But he still maintains a fundamental influence on life here.
Can you tell me about Abbot Peter?
Peter's wise in the ways of politics and a good shepherd, but as you've already heard, he's old and infirm. The other brothers see him with one foot in the grave, but I still have hope for him. But you, brother, don't let yourself get involved in the games of your superiors. Could you help me with something?
With what?
I'm interested in medicine, and I know there's a cure for the abbot's ailment. With your help, I could find out the details, and together you and I could give old Peter a few more years to do good. What do you say?
What do you need me for?
In order to get the recipe for this medicament, a few rules will need to be broken. Now you know most of the brothers believe every illness is a message from God, and that it's not our place to deny his will. I, however, think if God sent us not just illnesses, but also the medicine to cure them, then it's our duty to relieve people of their suffering. The cure for Abbot Peter's illness could be contained in one of the books in our library, but it will certainly be amongst the libri prohibiti, the forbidden books, those we aren't permitted to read.
Why are they forbidden?
Because they contain occult and demonic practices, witchcraft and all manner of evil. Or so some people claim. It's nonsense, of course. This is nothing but a book of medicine, albeit one written by a pagan. Ibn Sina, also known as Avicenna, is universally acknowledged to be a wise man. But here, at some point, someone decided his book was the work of a Saracen devil and must be kept under lock and key. Since then, no one can even talk about the book. But the three wise men were from the East, were they not?
Where can I find it?
In the library, there's a large cabinet with a lock on it. The forbidden books are inside. You'll easily recognize what you're looking for. The cover has not only a Latin inscription, but also Saracen letters. Bring it to me, but leave the other books there. No one will notice if one book disappears, but if more were to vanish, someone would certainly begin to look into it, which is exactly what we don't want.
Is there anything you can tell me that would help?
There's a key to the cabinet in the prior's chambers. The librarian should have another one, or you can acquire some lockpicks. But I can't tell you where or how. Perhaps Brother Celerius could help.
Why can't you do it yourself?
Because I'm one of the highest-ranking monks here, and one day I'd like to become abbot. Can you imagine me crawling around in the black of night searching for a forbidden book?
You could just ask for it.
Do you honestly think I haven't tried? Unfortunately, Librarian Cyril is a stubborn ass.
I'm ready.
One more important thing. There's always someone in the library during the day. To pass unwatched, you'll need to go at night. It's locked, but I'm sure you'll manage to get in. They say Brother Solarius understands locks, but don't tell him why you need it. Once you have the book, bring it to me, and I'll then use it to make Peter's medicine. We'll soon have the election of the abbot over and done with.
Here's the book you wanted.
Amazing. This really is it. Now I can use it to prepare a cure for our suffering abbot. Then I'll leave it in the library to make it seem as if Brother Librarian left it lying about. There'll be no investigation. It would be against his best interests, as he'll look like the one who wasn't taking proper care of the books. It will drive him mad. I didn't leave that book out, or did I? Is there anything I can do for you in return?
I'd be interested in finding out the background of the other novices.
That's a strange wish you have. And the only ones who know everything about the novices are the abbot and the prior. They keep a record of every monk in the abbot's book, but you'll never get your hands on it. It's locked up in the prior's study.
Thanks. You've helped me immensely.
No, thank you. About that book, don't even think about breaking in to get it.
I'm interested in the election of the new abbot.
You're not alone. Everyone's so worked up about that they spent no...
Why? What's wrong with it now?
Many brothers...
That's all. Thank you.
Peace be with you, brother.
Guarda. Guarda.
Peace be with you, brother.
Not now, brother. After Mass.
to me, brother.
I'm looking for something a little, unorthodox.
And what would that be exactly?
I'm looking for lockpicks.
Lockpicks? And what would you like those for?
I'd like to practice opening locks, just for the fun of it.
Well, why not? So you heard I used to be a burglar, did you? I put it all behind me as soon as I took the vows. But I do have a few lockpicks left. I'll trade them for food. Get me a bite to eat, and you can have your lockpicks. Can't say fairer than that, can I?
Pues no necesito traerle yo comida a este.
What is it, brother?
let's talk about the price.
Alright, so?
This is a waste of time.
Ah, Gregor. Talk to me.
Is it possible to learn something about the other novices in the library?
Only the abbot and the prior keep such records.
And can I see them?
No. The abbot writes and keeps his records in his chambers, and only he and the prior are permitted to read them.
I found this piece of parchment. It looks like it's been ripped out of a book. Do you know what it is?
It appears to be a page torn out of Ovid.
Ovid? What is that? Is it the name of a book?
Not what, but who? Ovid was a great Roman poet. We have a few volumes by him in the library, but one of them vanished one day. Now I believe I can guess what happened. Brother Eustace, may the earth rest lightly on him, was quite narrow-minded when it came to classical literature. If a book had any mention of woman at all, he condemned it as a heretical work. If he'd had his way, all such books would have been burned. Ovid's The Art of Love must have been such a thorn in his side that he stole it from the library, tore it up, and hid the pages wherever he could.
Can you tell me something about the book?
The Art of Love is a sort of manual instructing young people how to find and maintain love. It's a lovely work. I don't understand what bothered Eustace so much about it, but as I was saying, he considered the book to be immoral and tore it up to stop it corrupting any of his brothers.
Where should I look?
If I knew, I wouldn't have asked you to do it. The pages of the book could be hidden anywhere, from the garden to the refectory.
Oh, would you like me to put the book back together again?
Absolutely. Eustace's wits weren't the sharpest, so I'm sure he didn't destroy any of the pages. I imagine he hid them throughout the monastery. It might take you a while to find them all, but when you do, you can rest assured Ovid will return to his rightful place in the library.
Good. I'll look around for it.
Thank you, brother. It's of no great importance, but if you can find all 10 pages, I'll be most grateful.
I found a few pages of the torn-up book, but I still don't have them all.
Wonderful. Keep looking, then. I'm sure you can find the rest. Talk to me, brother. What troubled you?
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
Service.
Brother? Where were you during Mass? Don't tell me you didn't know that Holy Mass is the foundation on which your life here is built.
I had other affairs that needed to be attended to immediately. It will never happen again.
Really? This time I'll look the other way. But next time, you won't get out of being punished.
About you in the election, will you tell me more about it?
Ask me anything you want.
I'd like to help you if I can.
There is something you could do. I'm convinced Nevlus must have done something that would greatly damage him if everyone found out. If he was preaching water and drinking wine, for example.
So I should dig something up on him and tell you about it?
Exactly. But I doubt you'll have any luck. Nevlus is too cunning and careful to give anything away.
I'm sorry, but that doesn't seem right to me.
He who aids a sinner sins himself. I shall pray for your soul, brother.
Thank you for answering.
Apague, Satanás.
Due to murmurers, unless he amend and make satisfaction. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the abbot. Therefore, when anyone receives the name of abbot, he ought to govern his disciples with a twofold teaching. That is to say, he should show them all that is good and holy, by his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's commandments and words to the intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions to those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed, from him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another, unless it be one whom he finds better in good works or in obedience. And
Brother,
let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders.
stealing is a sin. You should know that as a Christian, and certainly as a monk. Even if I wanted to forgive you, I couldn't. Thou shalt not steal.
Remembering the fate of Heli, the priest of silence. The well-disciplined
Very well, brother.
those who good
I accept my punishment.
correct with verbal admonition first
Now,
and second time.
show me what you have on you. I must confiscate anything that's not allowed in the monastery.
Joder, ya es la segunda vez. que dejar todas en un mismo sitio.
Servus.
Estos hijos putas. Voy a tener que volver a cargar. Cargar partida. Sí, porque si no...
Ah, this looks like a Saracen language. Ibn al-Hassan. That's who I'm looking for. Avicenna.
Tengo ya para comprar por lo menos una.
This is not a good time for questions, brother.
Is this some kind of bad joke? Put your habit on at once. This
What are you
isn't the
wearing,
marketplace.
brother? Is this some kind of bad joke? Put your habit on at once. This isn't the marketplace. Is this some kind of bad joke? Put your habit on at once. This isn't the marketplace.
His word will not be acceptable to God, who sees that his heart is murmuring.
What?
And far from gaining a reward for such work as this, he will incur the punishment due to murmurers, unless he amend themselves. The rule of Saint Benedict readings on the spirit.
Is this some kind of bad
What?
joke? Too good to wear a habit? Get dressed
Is
now.
this some kind of bad joke?
Guard my way.
Put your habit on at once. This isn't the marketplace.
I was mute and was humble and kept silence even from good. Put your habit on. Here, this isn't the spirit of silence.
I've heard you keep records of all the novices.
Yes, I do. Personal records detailing their past lives which are none of your business. Just as it's no one else's business that you deflowered your liege lord's daughter.
The forbidden books must be in that cabinet.
Hola, gamer. La puta misa de los huevos.
Put your habit on at once. This isn't the marketplace.
Get dressed now.
Is this some kind of bad joke? Put your habit on at once. This too good to wear a habit.
I'm still curious about this treasure trove of yours.
Sí, sí, sí.
It's no big
¿Te creas que sale fácil de
Really,
aquí?
it isn't. I just go and read during services. There's no time otherwise. I mean, at other times I don't get to read what I like. And I keep it under the slab so the others don't find it.
Is this some kind of bad joke? Put your habit on at once. This isn't
I'll leave you
the
be.
marketplace.
Don't worry, I won't follow you again.
Thank you. And please, Gregor, don't mention it to anyone.
What are you wearing, brother? You're in a monastery.
I'm still curious about this treasure trove of
Put
yours.
your habit on at once.
It's no big
isn't the
terrible
marketplace.
secret. Really, it isn't.
Put your habit
I
on
just
at
go
once.
and read
This
during
isn't the
services.
marketplace.
There's no time otherwise. I mean,
Some kind
at
of
other
bad
times
joke.
I don't get
Put
to
your
read
habit
what
on
I
at
like.
once. This
And I keep it under the slab so the
wearing,
others
brother?
don't find it.
You're in a monastery.
What kind of a book
Too
is
good
it?
to wear a habit?
Get dressed now.
Get
I
dressed
found
now.
it here in the library.
Is this some kind of
It was
bad
on a
joke?
shelf where it
Put
should
your
never
habit
have
on
been.
at once. This
So
isn't
I
the
hid it to read
marketplace.
later. It's the Necronomicon. Ghosts, demons, and invocations of powers beyond our world.
What are you wearing, brother? You're in a
Only
monastery.
it's written in a strange language that I can't really make sense of. All bara this and bara that.
Is this some kind of
Who
bad
knows
joke?
what it means?
Put your habit on at once.
I tried to count the syllables,
Too good
read
to
the
wear a
words
habit.
backwards, but
Get dressed
nothing.
now.
I'm not getting anywhere with it.
Oh, I'm not too sure what the prior or
Is
the
this some kind
cicada
of
would
bad
say
joke?
about a book like
Put your
that.
habit on at once.
Actually, what anyone would say.
What are you wearing, brother?
Sounds quite
You're in a monastery.
prohibited.
Prejudice. But you're right, it is prohibited. For no good reason, though.
Too
Has
good to
knowledge
wear
ever
a
done
habit.
anybody any
Get
harm?
dressed now.
You're right. Knowledge
Too
should
good
never
to
be
wear a habit.
prohibited.
Get dressed
I'm
now.
glad you agree.
Too good
Just take
to
a
wear
look at the
habit.
book.
Get dressed now.
Maybe you'll be able to make some sense of it. I haven't grasped a single syllable. Just please
wearing,
don't
brother?
tell anyone
You're in
about
a
the book.
monastery.
Get dressed
The
now.
brothers learn that I took it from the
you wearing,
library and
brother?
hid it. I'll
You're
be in a
in a
lot of
monastery.
trouble. Our brothers' minds are closed to a thirst for knowledge.
Too good to wear a habit.
Este no es.
Get dressed now.
I'll leave you be.
Este no es.
Don't worry, I won't follow you again.
Too good to wear a
Thank
habit?
you.
Get
And
dressed
please,
now.
Gregor, don't mention
What are
it
you
to
wearing?
anyone.
Wearing, brother.
You're in a monastery.
Vamos a dejarlo de momento aquí. Uf.
Is this some kind of bad joke? Put your habit on at once.
Que sin ganzúas está la cosa jodida, ¿sabes? Y esa es la policía. ¿Qué va, tío? Estoy aquí todo el rato metido. Me dejan dar vueltas por la iglesia, pero hay mucha policía. Estos que son así más grisáceos son la policía del convento. Los cicatores esos.
Brother. What on earth are you wearing? This is a monastery, not an ale house. Change into your robes immediately.
I definitely was there. I did come a little late, so perhaps no one noticed me.
Really? This time I'll look the other way. But next time you won't get out of being punched.
A ver. Pero bueno, ¿yo qué llevo? Uf, adiós. Que he dejado esto en la iglesia. La policía. ¿Qué? A ver, ¿qué?
Brother? What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands are the devil's workshop.
I was feeling a bit queasy.
Really? Fine then. This time I will forgive you. But next time you'll be punished, just like everyone else.
Uf. Es que voy en pelotas, tío.
What are you wearing? Some kind of badge. Get dressed now. This isn't the marketplace.
No, es que lo he dejado todo en un cofre de la iglesia. Hasta la ropa. Sin darme cuenta. Y ahora tengo que esperar a que pase la policía.
What? Too good to wear a habit? Get dressed now.
Ahora tengo que ir a ver al hermano Neplas este. A ver, ¿dónde está este tío? Aquí no es. La puta policía. Tengo que ir a trabajar con este tío y no sé dónde cojones se encuentra. Ah, está aquí.
Ah, Gregor, talk to me.
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. You'll find ingredients in the chests next to it. Today it's your task to concoct 2 potions to aid digestion. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let me know when you're done so I can check them.
No me jodas. Hiciera alquimia, pero necesito inventario. Pero si es que yo no sé ahora. Necesito 2 manzanillas y una menta. Manzanillas, 2. Y tengo que... modelar la manzanilla. Aquí. ¿Cómo se muele? Inventario. Ayuda. Plato. No. muelo yo esto ahora? Manzanilla. Vale. Menta. Dos y 8, vale. ¿Pero esto cómo se hace? ¿Cómo se utiliza el mortero? No está bien explicado. Ah, voy a salirme de aquí. Te den por culo, tío, que me vuelvo loco. Un puñado de menta y 2 de manzanilla. ¿Cómo se hace esto? Aquí se han metido una fumada. Si antes me salió, ¿y ahora por qué no me sale? Algo que se me escapa. ver qué sale aquí.
Talk to me, brother. I'm here to work.
Good. This is most likely the first time you've ever done this in your life. But it's easier than you think. Just a bit of practice and learning Latin. Here's the original, and here are the blank parchments on which you'll copy what you read in the original. Is that clear? Then you may begin, and try not to make a mess of it.
Bueno. Vamos a ver. Sentarme en la mesa.
Servus.
Qué mierda. Lo que es Dreut. ¿Dónde está? Ahora sí que no sé dónde está.
You call that a copy? You've completely ruined the parchment with your scribbling.
Necesito más. O robarle al cura supremo. Aquí está toda la gente. ¿Dónde estará la policía? Es que no me fío de ellos, tío. Mira, me ha salido la poción de digestión. Y mi labor diaria es estar aquí arriba, ¿no? Pero no puedo robarle a nadie. Voy a darle la poción de digestión a este tío.
What troubles you?
Is there any way I could help you get elected? Somehow tip the scales in your favor?
What would you like to do? Climb up a tower and shout, "Vote for Neville, vote for Neville"?
Not exactly. You do have an opponent, John.
John isn't my opponent, he's my brother. Just like you and everyone else here. We're all brothers in Christ. But there is something you could help me with. You must know there's a great deal of iniquity here in the monastery. I'd be interested to hear of anything I don't know about.
Should I find out for you what's going on around here?
Let me make this clear. I want to base my candidacy on putting things in order. And if I don't know exactly what's wrong, then my promises are just empty slogans.
Very good then. I'll find out what I can.
Thank you, brother.
What do you want me to find out?
I'd be interested to hear about any iniquity in the monastery. I need to prepare myself for what I'll be facing.
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Are there ever any disagreements between the brothers?
Unfortunately, yes. The biggest quarrel right now are about the election of the new abbot. They can already see poor Peter in his grave.
Tell me something about electing the abbot.
Well, the old abbot is practically on his deathbed. There are two candidates. Half the monastery wants John, the other half Nablas. There's no chance they'll come to an agreement, but you probably already noticed the atmosphere around here.
Tell me about John.
John is Cicada and the oldest brother here. It would be only natural if he took the crozier from Peter. He has experience, merit, and composure. He'd lead the monastery wisely.
I'd like to know about Nevlas.
Nevlas manages the monastery's properties. He doesn't have the most experience, but his drive and heart are pure. His faith firm, and his ideas rational. Although perhaps he's too keen to change our routines here, which many brothers don't like.
Why does it matter so much who wins?
Because the future direction of the monastery hangs in the balance. The younger brothers feel they have to work more than their superior brothers, and that some brothers are more concerned with their own comfort than with worshipping God. The older brothers take a different view. They say the younger monks want privilege they haven't earned, and each side has its own candidate.
I thought politics weren't part of the monastic way of life.
You're right. But we know nothing's besides the monastery, and the abbot's decision can influence our entire life. Some of the brothers take it very personally.
Who would you like to be the new abbot?
Well, the old abbot isn't dead yet. It's too early to talk about elections. But if I had to choose between the two who are already putting themselves forward, John would be my choice.
Who's in charge of things around here?
Oh, Abbot Peter is the administrator of the monastery, but you won't... Well, then we elect a new...
What troubles you?
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who would you like to be the new abbot?
The old abbot isn't dead yet. It's too early to talk about elections. But if I had to choose between the two who are already putting themselves forward, John would be my choice.
What would you like? I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who would you like to be the new abbot?
John, there's no other candidate. Nevertheless just babbles on and on. Don't take him seriously.
Brother? Brother Nevelis says that you didn't finish your work in the herb room. Have you lost your taste for honest labor?
I had other affairs that needed to be attended to immediately. It will never happen again.
Really?
Peace be with you, brother.
I'll pretend nothing happened. But this is the last time, brother. Brother? What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands are the devil's workshop.
You're right, brother.
This is your first warning. Don't do it again.
Ah, Gregor, talk to me.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who would you like to be the new abbot?
John, there's no other candidate. Nevelas just babbles on and on. Don't take him seriously.
Gregor, talk to me.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who would you like to be the new abbot?
John, there's no other candidate. Nevelis just babbles on and on. Don't take him seriously.
Praise be to Christ, brother.
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. But I've no time for idle chat. I transcribe books from dawn till dusk. I've been doing it for years, and I'll be doing it till the day I die.
What, you do nothing else?
It is my penance and my blessing. And now, brother, if you don't mind, I'd like to get this page finished. Talk to me, brother.
I'd like to ask about something.
Can't you see I'm working? Ask someone else.
What troubles you?
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who would you like to be the new abbot?
John, definitely. Now, compared to him, Nevelis is young and inexperienced. John has the wisdom of age, and he already has the respect that Nevelis will have to earn.
What would you like?
Is it possible to learn something about the other novices in the library?
Only the abbot and the prior keep such records.
And can I see them?
No. The abbot writes and keeps his records in his chambers, and only he and the prior are permitted to...
Me va a tocar robar al viejo.
I found this piece of parchment. It looks like it's been ripped out of a book. Do you know what it is?
It appears to be a page torn out of...
Ovid? What is that? Is it the name of a book?
Not what, but who? Now I believe if he'd had...
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Can you leave the monastery?
Where would you go? You have... Ah, Gregor, talk to me.
Cago en la puta. Ya está ahí el policía. Pues comida no hay. Eso me pasa por adelantarme a la jugada. Por dos cojones. He dejado el monasterio sin comida. Y ahora me va a tocar atracar al viejo.
found a few pages of it.
Wonderful.
Brother? What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands are the devil's work.
Estoy aquí trabajando.
You're right, brother.
This is your second warning. Do it again and you will be punished.
What troubles you?
I found a few pages of it.
Wonderful. Keep looking then. I'm sure you can find the rest.
Aquí no puedo estar. Tengo que estar aquí arriba. A nadie. Ay, ya tengo 200. Oh, que tengo 200 pavos. Busco el libro, pero... Bueno, vamos a ver ahora al hermano Pascual. ¿Cuántos? Y le vamos a comprar unas cerraduritas. Vamos a ver al hermano Neplas este. Este está bien.
Peace be with you.
Praise be to Christ, brother.
I've discovered something about the wrongs being committed here.
I see. Tell me more.
Brother Siskin is hiding treasure he owned before he became a monk.
It doesn't surprise me. It's not the first time that's happened, and it won't be the last. I wouldn't punish him, but you can talk to him about it. Perhaps God will guide him, and he'll gladly give up his mammon.
That's all I know.
If you find out anything else, come to me. I'd be interested to hear it.
Is there any way I could help you get elected? Somehow tip the scales in your favor?
What would you like to do? Climb up the tower and shout, "Vote for Nevlis, vote for Nevlis"?
Not exactly. You do have an opponent, John.
John isn't my opponent, he's my brother. Just like you and everyone else here. We're all brothers in Christ. But there is something you could help me with. You must know there's a great deal of iniquity here in the monastery. I'd be interested to hear of anything I don't know about.
That doesn't sound like something I can do.
Pity. And I thought you wanted to help.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
Ahora tengo que ir a ver al hermano Ps4 y comprarle las... Antes tengo que ir a la biblioteca.
What is it, brother?
Toma.
I found a few pages of the torn-up book, but I still don't have them all.
Wonderful. Keep looking then. I'm sure you can find the rest.
Ese siempre está comiendo. Ese siempre está por aquí. Mírale. Necesito actuar.
Brother, I've a favor to ask. And I think you're the man to help me with it. Or you used to be, before you came here.
I see. So it's the dodgy sort of favor, is it?
Well, yes. I need to get hold of the keys to the monastery.
That won't be easy, I can tell you that straight off. A prior always keeps the keys close by him. So how exactly do you imagine I could help?
Could you take the keys off him?
Rob the prior? You've got to be joking.
You wouldn't be doing it for free?
Then what could you possibly pay me? I'm done with my thieving, and you'd have to offer me a whole lot of groschen to change my mind.
How much would you want?
A princely sum, brother. This is no trifling matter.
I see. Will this do?
By the relics of Saint Procopius, where did you get all that? But a promise is a promise. Give me that, and I'll get the keys to get you out.
There you go.
Come back in a couple of days. I won't manage to get the keys before that.
Brother? What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands are the devil's workshop.
You're right, brother.
Now, this is your third warning. And do you know what that means?
A la otra
A
vez.
day in solitary confinement.
Very well, brother. I accept
Esto es
my
mi
punishment.
castigo.
I still need to look through your pockets to see if you have anything you shouldn't. You have a weapon here in the monastery. I don't care where you got it or why, but clearly your intentions are not honorable. You failed to complete your trial period as a novice. You are hereby banished from the Order of St. Benedict. Be gone at once.
¿Cómo? No me jodas que tengo que... ¡Hala! Cargar partida. Adiós. La madre que me parió. Hostia puta.
Ah, this looks like the south.
Joder. Ahora me toca bajar a robar. Joder, la putada que me acaba de hacer el puto juego. Vamos a mirar. Joder. Si es que yo no valgo para estar todos los días en misa. Está todo el mundo aquí muy callado. Ya se va el primero. Estoy aquí rezando. Y tengo que hablar con estos. Con los reservados. Difícil esta zona, me cago en todo. Como te descuides un poco, la cagas. Hombre, se queda aquí más tiempo. Voy a probar a ver. Toma por culo. Voy a comer con los demás.
Talk to me, brother.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who would you like to be the new abbot?
I've thought long and hard about it, and I've decided to support John.
Ese no. Ese ya te digo yo de antemano que no. A ver, este. El Siskin.
What would you like?
I'm still curious about this treasure trove of yours.
It's no big terrible secret. Really, it isn't. I just go and read during services. There's no time otherwise. I mean, at other times I don't get to read what I like. And I keep it under the slab so the others don't find it.
What kind of a book is it?
I found it here in the library. It was on a shelf where it
Tengo
should
que
be.
leer el libro. Hay un libro que tengo que leer, que le he robado la llave al abuelo.
It's the
Ese que va por ahí.
Ghosts, demons, and invocations of powers beyond our world. Only it's written in a strange language that I can't really make sense of. All bara this and bara that. Who knows what it means? I tried to count the syllables, read the words backwards, but nothing. I'm not getting anywhere with it.
Oh, I'm not too sure what the prior or the cicada would say about a book like that. Actually, what anyone would say. It sounds quite prohibited.
Ah, prejudice. But you're right, it is prohibited. For no good reason, though. Has knowledge ever done anybody any harm?
No. Tenéis razón.
You're right. Knowledge should never be prohibited.
I'm glad you agree. Just take a look at the book. Maybe you'll be able to make some sense of it. I haven't grasped a single syllable. Just please don't tell anyone about the book. If the brothers learn that I took it from the library and hid it, I'll be in a lot of trouble. Our brothers' minds are closed to a thirst for knowledge.
I'll leave you be. Don't worry, I won't follow you again.
Thank you. And please, Gregor, don't mention it to anyone.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
Look, nothing against you, but I prefer not to talk about my past.
Are you hiding something? Why are you so reluctant to tell me anything about yourself?
I'm hiding a lousy past that I'd rather forget. I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here. And also because I really hate the question, aren't you the son of the famed Sir Smil Flashka Pardubit? I was rich and I had everything. But then my father began to feel his time approaching, so he decided to send a son to the monastery. And, being the youngest, a lot fell on me. I've no head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it. Can you imagine? Me, in a monastery. So I took what coin I could from home with me, so I didn't lose out completely.
That's all I wanted to know.
Please, keep it to yourself. Especially the part about the coin.
Se van todos, vale. Ahora tengo las llaves del monasterio, ¿no? ¿Dónde están? Los comilones estos.
Persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another, unless it be one whom he finds better in good works or in obedience. And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but, since he has the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear. Remembering the fate of Heli, the priest of Sila, the well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient characters he should curb at the very beginning of their ill-doing by stripes and other bodily punishments, knowing that it is written, the fool is not corrected with words. And again, beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver his soul from death.
Yo creo que es el Antonius ese, el novicio Lucas. Yo creo que es el Antonius. Háblame de los otros
I'd
novicios.
like to know something about the other novices.
I don't know much, but ask away.
What can you tell me about Siskin?
Not a lot. I don't know him. Actually, I don't know much about him at all. Except that he's not a stickler for rules.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's nothing I can tell you.
I mean, where you're from, what sort of life you had before, that sort of thing.
I'm a novice, and my monastic name is Lucas. Nothing else matters.
Onda.
Come on. Is there really nothing at all you can tell me?
I could, but I don't want to. I'm sorry. I want to stay focused on work and prayer, not on who I once was. I never will be again.
Yo creo que eres tú.
What has been isn't important for us. We cast the past aside when we walked through the monastery gates and took our oath. Never forget that.
Anda, pues aquí solo hay uno.
Talk to me, brother.
Is there any way I could help you get elected? Somehow tip the scales in your favour?
What would you like to do? Climb up the tower and shout, "Vote for Nevlis, vote for Nevlis"?
Not exactly. You do have an opponent, John.
John isn't my opponent, he's my brother. Just like you and everyone else here. We're all brothers in Christ. But there is something you could help me with. You must know there's a great deal of iniquity here in the monastery. I'd be interested to hear of anything I don't know about.
Should I find out for you what's going on around here?
Let me make this clear. I want to base my candidacy on putting things in order. But if I don't know exactly what's wrong, then my promises are just empty slogans.
Very good then. I'll find out what I can.
Thank you, brother.
What do you want me to find out?
I'd be interested to hear about any iniquity in the monastery. I need to prepare myself for what I'll be facing. What troubles you?
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who would you like to be the new abbot?
The old abbot isn't dead yet. It's too early to talk about elections. But if I had to choose between the two who are already putting themselves forward, John would be my choice.
What would you like?
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who would you like to be the new abbot?
Brother Nevlis. There are many things wrong here, and John would leave them as they are.
Joder.
Praise be to Christ, brother.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
Está el policía ahí que no me deja ni pie ni pata.
What kind of question is that? John, of course. Nevlas isn't the kind of candidate you can take seriously.
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who would you like to be the new abbot?
Oh, the old abbot isn't dead yet. It's too early to talk about elections. But if I had to choose between the two who are already putting themselves forward, John would be my choice.
Necesito guardar. Pero bueno, ¿qué hace aquí el poli? Hostias, el juego está curradísimo con todos los dibujos y todas las movidas que tiene. Esto está currado total, ¿eh? No me había yo dado cuenta en esto. Esto se le han currado bastante lo de Warhorse. Lucas este ya le he dado cera. Vamos a ver al hermano este. Netflix, vamos a hablar.
What troubles you?
He venido por mis tareas diarias.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. You'll find ingredients in the chests next to it. Today's task, 2 cockerel potions.
Pues ha tenido que ir muy deprisa.
You'll find me somewhere
porque yo estoy ahora por los
Don't
curats.
forget to let me know when you're done so I can check them.
No se puede ir tan deprisa. A ver qué me ha dicho.
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
No, es que yo voy por la...
I finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Brother, what will become of you? Oh, well.
¿Cómo?
Perhaps tomorrow you'll do better. What would you like?
Ahora tengo que ir a guardar. tengo aquí un lapsus de tiempo entre el que me deja... ¿Qué dices, tío? O sea, aquí hay un montón de misiones escondidas. Joder. Lo que no sé es dónde coño está ahora. Esto es la comida. Esto es esto. Entonces no te has pasado el juego, porque sí. Le has dicho, voy a darle cera, que esto es muy largo. Yo ahora lo voy a guardar. Dios quiere y no pasa nada. Pero que no sé dónde coño estoy. Porque es que... ahora sí que he perdido la noción del tiempo y la conciencia. Esta parte es muy jodida. Jodida solo no, es muy jodida. Y ahora voy a aprovechar en guardar. Pero vamos a ir atrás primero. Porque tengo 200 pavos que tengo que coger de por aquí. No, aquí sigue sin haber nada. Misión completada, viernes mundanos. Mira, ya tengo otra misión. Pues vamos a guardar. Dormir y guardar una horita. Ahora no me va a pillar de susto. Ahora por lo menos ya lo tengo guardado. Y tengo que dejar la daga donde no me pille la policía. Aquí no es. El problema es la policía del monasterio. Robar. Yo he dejado por aquí algo. No sé dónde lo dejé. Es aquí, creo, ¿no? La puerta abierta esta.
What would you like?
I've discovered something about the wrongs being committed here.
I see. Tell me more.
Brother Siskin is hiding treasure he owned before he became a monk.
It doesn't surprise me. It's not the first time that's happened, and it won't be the last. I wouldn't punish him, but you can talk to him about it. Perhaps God will guide him, and he'll gladly give up his mammon.
That's all I know.
If you find out anything else, come to me. I'd be interested
Y
to
ahora
hear.
tengo que ir a mirar el libro. Que el libro está no en esta planta. No en esta. Está la biblioteca, pero esto está lleno de tíos. Ese es el problema. Pues ahora tengo que... la poli. Tengo que coger y subir a la biblioteca cuando aquí no haya nadie. Tengo que ir a buscar al hermano no sé cuántos que tiene, que viene la poli por aquí.
Brother? What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands
Si
are the
estoy aquí
devil's
trabajando.
I had other affairs that needed to be attended to immediately. It will never happen again.
Really? I'll pretend nothing happened. But this is the last time, brother. Brother? Brother Nevelis says that you didn't finish your work in the herb room. Have you lost your taste for honest labor?
I definitely was there. I did come a little late, so perhaps no one noticed me.
Really? I'll pretend nothing happened. But this is the last time, brother.
Cuando estén en misa es cuando tengo que arrearle. A ver. Menos mal que lo he guardado. Y si fallo... y leer el libro del tío ese.
12 summers gone since they died.
Time flies. My uncle been gone now for 4.5 years. Salve.
Hijo de la gran puta. Antes de que termine el cura nuevo.
The forbidden books must be in that cabinet.
The book's still in there, out for your eyes to see.
I've got an itchy feeling on the back of my neck. I think someone's spying on us. True. They all know what we do to them. They've seen what we did to Lucas.
What was that?
Brother. Brother Cyril mentioned that you didn't submit your parchments in the scriptorium.
Lo siento mucho.
Do you not enjoy copying books? Or are you just willfully shirking your responsibilities?
I was feeling a bit queasy.
Really? This time I'll look the other way. But next time you won't get out of being punished. Brother. Where were you during Mass? Don't tell me you didn't know that Holy Mass is the foundation on which your life here is built.
No puedo adelantar.
You're right, brother.
This is your first warning. Don't do it again. Brother Nevelis says that you didn't finish your work in the herb room. Have you lost your taste for honest labor?
You're right, brother.
This is your second warning. Do it again and you will be punished. Brother, you were somewhere you shouldn't have been. Don't you know your...
Very well, brother. I accept my punishment.
Now, show me what you have on you. I must confiscate anything that's not allowed in the monastery.
Cago en la puta madre. Con los priores, los cicatrores y su puta madre. Bueno, lo he guardado. Lo voy a volver a guardar para iniciar desde ahí. Me cago en su puta madre. No sé si la voy a cargar. Pero ya mañana más. Porque telita, telita. Con la parte esta. Menos mal que se me ocurrió guardar una hora. Y ahora la voy a guardar otra. Para empezar desde ahí. Su puta madre. Venga, a ver, cargar partida. Vamos a eliminar. ¡Ey! No te me bugues ahora. Porque ya no me voy a volver para atrás. Y ahora voy a grabar aquí la partida. Que me inicie desde aquí. Dormir y guardar. Bueno, mañana empiezo desde aquí. Y ya continúo porque telita. Telita el monasterio. Menos mal que tengo las llaves de todo el monasterio. Pues aquí se queda. Mañana más.